folks. Hey, welcome back. This is Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Friend of the show, John Petrolino, is next.
But first, clean and lube, protect your guns faster and easier with Seal One. Seal One CLP Plus is also natural, non-toxic, environmentally friendly, and if you're tired of smelling like a gas station after cleaning your gun, you need to try Seal One. Ask for it by name at your local gun shop. If they don't have it, ask them why. Clean your gun faster and better with Seal One.
Action Jackson. Do you know my buddy, John Petrolino? Do you know that guy yet?
I will right now.
That's exactly right. You don't read his column yet?
And
So he's a Second Amendment author. So he writes a bunch of stories about the Second Amendment and what's going on in different court cases. And he's a merchant marine, and he's an awesome guy. He's an author. He wrote a book on how to on like basic firearms. It's almost like a manual, like a firearms manual. Like how do you shoot a gun? What's the difference between a revolver and everything? It's kind of neat.
I have to catch up on these books.
I know, right? So John Petrolino is our guest. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Michael. How are you? Hello, Joe, Dave, Action Jackson, everybody. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, good to have you back, John. Did you bring Charlie with you? I thought Charlie was going to be here today.
I did not bring Charlie, but he is tuning in right now.
Right.
So we could give Charlie a big old shout out.
Now, John, I heard a rumor about you and Charlie.
Well, a lot of people talk about me and Charlie.
No, that's not that rumor. I heard that you two were going to come out to Gun Prom this year. Is that accurate?
What I can say right now is there is going to be a planning board meeting on Tuesday evening with me, Charlie, and Mrs. Petrolino.
Yeah.
Ironing out the finer details about this trip to California that we'll be trying to pull off.
Joe, I have this image of the two of them in like this wacky, road trip, where hilarity ensues, and I don't know, maybe they have to save a town in trouble on the way or something.
It's a 4-day-long Charlie video. It'd be great.
In an 87 Buick Estate Wagon.
Exactly. Well, that's on day one, but then that breaks down. Then they got to go with like some kind of,
they got to go in an airplane and pay extra to go faster.
Exactly.
Well, I hope they make it out here because they're my only 2 celebrity subscribers on my Get a Grip site there.
Is that the only 2 you have?
2 celebrities, yeah. I don't have any more celebrities like
I
those
thought all
guys.
your people were celebrities.
No, but it puts a lot of pressure on me now because every time I try to write something, I break out into a sweat. It's like, God, John and Charlie are reading this. What am I going to do?
You got to up your game, Joe.
It's a lot of pressure now that it didn't used to be.
There you go.
Joe, you're nailing it, man. I wouldn't even worry about it. You are nailing it. I dig the work. So everybody, give Joe's work a read there. And what is it? Getagrip.substack.com.
That's the one. You say it better than I do. That's great.
Yeah, we got to get everybody out there reading Joe's stuff. It's good. I like it. So what do you got tonight for me, Michael?
Well, how do you I really like what you write. You do a great job. I enjoy your articles very, very much, and I think that you're very thorough and not just in explaining the subject, but you get really, really down into, like, you research the articles really, really well. Some of the articles are, like you've written articles that I've been involved with, and you did better research than I learned something about what I did from you, which was really amazing. How do you what do you decide? How do you decide which articles you write?
Oh, I mean, it's just if a topic comes and hits me and I'm, it's there for the taking, I just take it and run with it. I mean, it's really, triaging out. So if there's a story that's been told 5 different times, like we're going to talk about another robbery or another shooting in Jersey. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of boring. It's worthy to report on, yes, but I think what you're talking about, maybe some of the work revolving around, say, trying to get a concealed carry permit and jurisdictions forcing you to get a psychological examination.
Yeah, up in Marietta. It's up in Marietta and Riverside, right?
Right. So that was something that, I took some time to write about and research. And that's the kind of stuff I really like, because there's commentary, and I don't, I enjoy writing commentary as well. But hard news like that, is, where I really like to dig in. So I actually have some stuff, coming up. I hope to get the green light in a couple of days to talk about a former court case, and maybe this individual taking a different approach to how he handles his problem. But we'll see about that. And also, Irons that have already put in the fire was recently talking about the J Factor concealed carry case in New Jersey. That's something that I wrote about. That was, hard news. And
well, you did a really good job with this guy Hemmerling that we keep talking about, the guy that wants to run for sheriff here in San Diego. You knocked that out of the park too. And
John Hemmerling, yes. And here's the thing: one of his cohorts wrote an article saying that Michael Schwartz blindsided him. Well, here's the thing: I didn't blindside Hemmerling. I sent Hemmerling emails, and he had all the time in the world to think about how he wanted to speak for himself. And he, gave me his responses. So they can poo-poo as much as they want about him being blindsided. They should be well aware now that gun owners do not appreciate the tactics of which he tries to employ upon the population.
Well, none of that, but I don't think I've said this on the air yet, but I didn't blindside him. I actually told him, I told a go-between. They said, "Hey, I heard he's coming on the radio, whatever," and I said, "Yeah, you need to tell him that we're really gonna hold him accountable for the gun violence restraining order stuff." And he said, "Okay, I'll talk to him." And I actually got confirmation that he knew coming in that we were going to hit him hard on the gun violence restraining order thing. And honestly, I didn't intend for that interview to be as hard hitting until he just completely fell apart. He couldn't answer the most basic of questions, and I thought, okay, I'm going for the jugular. So in no way did I ambush him or blindside him or anything. He knew exactly what was going to happen when we came on. And by the way, he's a prosecutor. Like if I can blindside a prosecutor and take his pants down and spank him that hard, you're not really a great prosecutor. So, being blindsided. By the way, that guy that wrote that article is he's a buddy he went to law school with. So it's not like it's nobody that has any kind of credibility.
Right. And I saw that. And, the thing that bothers me about Hemmerling, even further, is he was given the opportunity to speak for all this. And the word or the phrase ex parte is mentioned, 40-something times in the statute and the explanation of the law. And he has the audacity to tell all of us and all of your listeners and everybody that's willing to listen to him that these hearings don't necessarily happen with the people not present, that they're always present, and that's wrong. They have ex parte, and people are blindsided, and when they find out about them is when the police show up and say, "Give me your guns." And for him to be a barrister or a lawyer and to sit there and lie to us like that and say that there's no such thing as ex parte with these things, come on. That's my opinion, Michael.
Hey, that's four times now.
Well, what?
Yeah.
4 times? The what?
4 times we've tromped this guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the show's not even over. Well, I got to tell you, this is, we were talking about the media at the beginning, and then we had Masad Ayub, and we talked about the media with him a little bit. And this is the type of thing, this is why quality media is important, because you have guys like Hemmerling that are given false information, and they're biased and everything. And if you're a good journalist like John Petrolino, who we're talking to here, you're holding him accountable, saying, "Hey, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. What you're saying doesn't add up. What you're saying isn't true." And that's why this stuff's important. Obviously John's got a bias. John's the Second Amendment guy, but he's uncovering real facts. He's making sure that to hold people accountable when they make statements.
But John says when it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong.
I agree with that.
Right, John?
Generally speaking, I will.
Well,
I will.
Yeah. You may not even agree with it. But you'll still go the route of what's right.
Yeah, yes. And I'm not going to, and again, and I just had this conversation earlier today. I said, as long as I keep going forward and I do my absolute best and my due diligence to not do something that's wrong or immoral or fabrication of the truth. That's it,
Perfect.
And that's all we can do,
Well, and I think it's I just appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate the job you did on that very, very much. I think it's shocking, and I think it's important that people across the country see, a Republican pro-gun candidate who is not pro-gun.
Yeah.
I think there's this stereotype. You put an R in front of somebody's name, and far too many people across the country just make assumptions that they're good on guns and they believe every word they say. But here we have a quote-unquote pro-gun, quote-unquote Republican who's running for sheriff, and nobody's, nobody should make
calling him out.
Nobody should make the mistake that this guy's pro-gun. Right. You know what I mean? How much did you get? What kind of feedback did you get on that article?
A lot of people see California and they just roll their eyes, and they're like, that's typical. I will note that I did reach out to the San Diego County Republicans, and they declined to respond to my correspondence. And I asked them for a position statement on candidates that support red flag laws, and I asked them for a position statement on concealed carry, and I did name Hemmerling, I believe by name, in this email, and they declined to comment. And those two individuals are named in the article. I don't remember, those guys' names. But
wow, what a bunch of cowards. Okay, so listen, the theme for the month is first contact. So when we get back, we want to ask John Petrolino, we want to ask you what your best advice to people that are interested in learning, what's your best advice for them? So when we get back from the commercial, that's what we're going to talk about.
Hey, we are very proud to partner with the National Concealed Carry Association as a 10-ring partner. NCCA exists to serve the Second Amendment community by providing a nationwide network of 2A advocates. They offer elite self-defense and concealed carry training from the nation's top instructors. They also provide rock-bottom prices on the best selection of gear and accessories. Join them today. Members get great prices and free shipping. You can learn a whole lot more by just going to nationalconcealedcarryassociation.com.
All right, we're talking to our guest, John Petrolino, who's an author and gentleman and scholar and fine judge of Scotch and possible attendee of Gun Prom in June 18th this year. We were talking about, so you're an author. I love your book. What's the name of your book?
It's called Decoding Firearms.
And how would you describe it?
It's, as the subtitle says, it's an easy-to-read guide on general gun safety and use. So it is I'm not going to say fully comprehensive, like everything that you need to know is in there, but it is 266 pages of content to get you up on your feet and rolling prior to or while you're on your journey to becoming a shootist.
If you're new into shooting, and I would highly recommend this book. If you are kind of a novice and you've had a little bit of training, I would recommend this book to see if there are any holes that didn't, fill in any holes that were left in your training. And then if you're advanced, I would recommend this book as kind of a model on how to talk to other people and how to train other people. I really think this book's good for everybody. I think if you're a gun owner of any level and have any kind of passion towards teaching or learning when it comes to firearms, I truly believe you need to buy this book. Where do they buy it, John?
You can get it off of Amazon from there. Also at the Gun for Hire range in Woodland Park, New Jersey. They sell it online through their e-commerce store if you don't want to buy from Amazon. And if you're looking for information just on it, you want to read about it, you can read about it on my website, which you can go to at www.thepenpatriot.com. I have a new URL, Mike.
Nice.
Penpatriot.com. Yep. I got that moniker from John Green, who is the head of training in Gun Owners Action League. He referred to me as the Pen Patriot, and I just took it and ran with it, and it's sticking.
I like that. The Pen Patriot. THEPEN Patriot?
The Pen Patriot.
Nice. I like that. Okay, so our theme for the month on the show is First Contact. And we're not talking about wasn't that a Jodie Foster movie? First Contact. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that movie. We're talking about basically if you as a gun owner talking to somebody who's not a gun owner. That's your first contact with somebody who's not a gun owner. You're trying to turn them into a gun owner. Maybe they want to become a gun owner. What's your best advice? You wrote what I think is the definitive book when it comes to training manuals. What's your best advice to people that are interested in learning and taking those first steps to learn about guns and potentially owning one? What's your best advice?
Well, I would see first you have to ask that person, are they apprehensive? Some people have some real fears. They're interested, they're intrigued, but they're incredibly apprehensive because my gut reaction first thing is always to say, hey, you need to get out there, go get a class, go get training. And that might not 100% be right away. The first thing for some people might be to just take them to the range, point them at the target, and let them shoot a couple of shots and send them on their way to just give them that taste on their lips. Because if they're apprehensive the whole time that you're trying to teach them or talk to them about the material, they might be preoccupied with some sort of a fear base. So what you need to know is know who you're talking to, know your audience, read the room.
I agree. I think that's excellent advice. And on top of that, kind of the who's the guy, Joe? Who's the Wolf of Wall Street guy? What was that guy's name? Jordan, not Jordan Peterson.
You're not thinking of Gordon Gekko, right?
No, not that guy. who am I thinking of, John? Jordan.
I know.
Leo DiCaprio. That's who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Belfort.
You need a wrecking ball, right?
Right. So he did this thing where, hey, sell me a pen. And what he was trying to do was he was looking for people who would ask, well, how long have you been in the market for a pen? What are you going to use a pen for? What kind of things do you need for a pen? He was looking for people that would kind of peel back the layers of the onion to find out, hey, what are your needs? And I think that's important too. Are people buying a gun because for defense or a hobby or hunting or what's their motivation? Because I think too often if we assign motivation to them, if we say, oh, get this gun because it's good for concealing, well, maybe they don't want to carry. Maybe that's not where they're at, and that can so easily intimidate and scare people away from buying the gun that they really, really want. But getting to know your audience is excellent advice.
Right, and and again, it's taken me a while to really develop that attitude. It seems it's like a no-brainer, though. That's the thing. Because originally, I'm very training oriented. It's like you got to train, but maybe an 8-hour class or a 4-hour class might not be right for somebody's first go at just being exposed to this. Now, you've seen it, the person that does, once they have that on their mind, they're in it, and they're taking classes and they're watching the YouTube videos, and that's what some of my other advice might be, is finding quality content from quality content creators, whether it's written or it's on video online. And it's a very good way to learn, right?
I agree. I 100% agree. How much do you do a lot of training? Do you train? Do you do a lot of classes anymore? Or you?
I do primarily one-on-one or 2-on-1 training with people back home is what I'm generally doing. So I do when I have people that want to train, I absolutely do classes. Usually a couple a month. It's not like I have the John Petrolino Firearms Training Academy. I don't. That's my, one of my side hustles, is training. I've been doing it for a while though, and I enjoy it. I like working with people.
Now we have a big. How big is? I think it's huge. The case, the New York case, the Kerry case is enormous. How much is that? How do you prepare for that? As an author, as someone that's trying to get some good material out there. What do you anticipate as far as some of your writing and relation to the Kerry case coming out of New York?
Some of my writing, I'm going to be writing an application to get a concealed carry permit in the state of New Jersey, Michael. That's what I'm going to be writing.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that?
So, yeah, exactly. It's crazy. and that's where San Diego was in the Peruta days, really, if you look at it.
Yeah.
So to really wrap my head around this and writing, here's the thing, they've gone apoplectic already. So the reporting is the sky is falling and the court is compromised and all these things. And you've listened to the case. You've listened to it. I know you have.
I have.
Even some of your left of center justices asked very pointed questions that said, basically points you in the direction to say, yes, this is a constitutional right. And if we were to compare this to, say, speech, it would be abhorrent to treat it the same way. So as far as writing, it's just been actually the cup runneth over with just plenty of material to combat. And that's really what it is right now is retorting towards really bad reporting.
So, John, hey, do you, if we get a good ruling out of the Supreme Court here on this case, do you see New Jersey looking at it and saying, well, okay, the Supreme Court has ruled on this, we're going to go along, we're going to do the right thing, we're going to start doing that kind of stuff? Or do you see them taking the other direction where, okay, we're going to make it as difficult as possible for people to do this, depending on what the ruling is or how they come out?
I think they're going to make it as difficult as possible, and probably change carry laws where you can't carry within 1,000 feet of a mailbox, and you can't carry within 1,000 feet of a light bulb, and that's like all of New Jersey. Like you've got it all covered except for like the Pine Barrens, So I could see them making some laws that would be very obstructionist, I think there was a rumor that New York was looking to outlaw, and I tried to find this information, and I might have misspoke elsewhere talking about this, but I believe New York, there was somebody considering, making laws where you can't carry on public transportation, including Uber and Lyft. But don't hold my feet to that. I haven't confirmed that, but that was something I had heard from somebody. But on the other side of the coin there's rumors that New York's also hiring like 40-something more officers or something like that to process carry permits, because I think they know it's coming.
Well, who's following the laws anyway? No one follows laws anymore.
Well, nobody in power follows the laws. We follow the laws.
Well,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't want to follow the law, even if it comes down from the Supreme Court, these states are just saying, yeah, we're just going to ignore it. We're not going to pay any attention to that.
And that's a possibility, too. And we're going to have to just cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't know. This is going to be historic.
Mm-hmm.
And the sky hasn't fallen in all these other jurisdictions that have gotten permitless carry or anything like that. And a claim that something that Cam Edwards brings up on the regular is, of all the states that have gone and loosened up the restrictions on carry and have gone permitless or, made it easier to carry for normal law-abiding citizens, none of them have turned around and said, whoa, we got to reverse this.
Yeah.
They're all like full steam ahead.
They're all proud. I know it's worked out in every situation, including in some of the smaller jurisdictions in states like California, like Orange County, it went from, I don't know, in just a few years, they went from like 1,000 to, I think they're up to about 30,000 permits. Riverside issued 10,000 permits over the last couple of years. In every situation, it's worked out tremendously. They've literally lost. They have no ground to stand on anymore in any way. It's amazing. John, how do people find you, man?
You can check me out again at thepenpatriot.com. I'm also on Facebook /ThePenPatriot. I'm on Instagram at jpetrolino III and Twitter at John Petrolino. So look me up. If you guys got some news tips, find me and shoot me an email.
I didn't know you're on Instagram. I'm going to check you out right now. Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.